Welcome back. And earlier in the day, after being invited by the WHO to speak and address the 74th World Health Assembly, Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi made a stirring speech, and he asked nations to come together to form a task force that will put on priority the interest and welfare of children, and especially in nations where or perhaps which have been left in distress after the richer nations or the developed nations have pulled out their funding. He made a very strong pitch. He joins us now, Kailash Satyarthi. Kailashji, namaste. Let's talk about India. Over the last 18 months, you and your foundation have done some phenomenal work, because although children are known to be able to battle and fight this virus, a lot of them have been left alone in the battle for life.
Not only, perhaps, I'll tell you, last year, my organization, Bachpan Bachao Andolan, has physically rescued over 7,000 children, of course, in coordination with the state agencies. So it has been done legally. And I have personally spoken to many of them, of course, from a distance on telephone. And I was shocked to see that many of these children belong to those migrant workers who lost their livelihoods, and when they went back to their villages, they were in serious distress, and of course the life and economy was disastrous for them. So in that situation, their children were most vulnerable for trafficking, and they were trafficked work as child laborers. Some of them were being trafficked for child marriages and child prostitution. So that is just one organization. Of course, there should be many organizations and other agencies who have been able to identify and perhaps rescue many children. Thousands and thousands of children were affected indirectly. And the direct impact is now clear, that many of them are facing serious infection, and some of them are becoming orphans, losing one or both the parents. So this is really a serious crisis for the entire generation of young children, if directly or indirectly they are facing the most.
True, I agree, Kailashji. But on the issue of COVID orphans, do you think that India should be tweaking its adoption laws, or perhaps create another mechanism to help those children who have lost their parents to COVID?
I'm thankful to union government as well as the state governments. Many state governments have taken it up seriously, and every other day I see this in the newspapers. I've also written a letter to the Prime Minister right from the beginning, when this issue, we came to know through various sources where we are working, that some children are lying at home and their parents are hospitalized, or even the parents are isolated in one room in quarantine, and the children have no food to eat. In some cases, the parents or one parent died. So we started raising this issue in the beginning and wrote to the Prime Minister that please help these children. And also for the third wave, government should make sure that there should be at least one dedicated specialized hospital for children in each district, at least one hospital in each district. Similarly, the childcare institutions should be geared up, should be prepared for any eventuality. If large number of children come in the third wave, affected children, then there should be special care for them with medicine, oxygens and everything, quarantine facilities. So much of the things are needed. But today, I am calling through you to the Prime Minister of India, leaders in opposition, and every single parliament member. Please, this is the crisis where we have to stand high as the real moral leaders and amend the constitution, make health as constitutional right, fundamental right in India. So there is some interpretation in Article 21, the right to life, but that is just an interpretation.
Yeah.
There were certain clauses in the past when right to education was not there in the constitution. Very ordinary people like me started thinking that why can't we challenge, and that was back in late 90s, and demanded the constitutional amendment. And we have seen that when education became the fundamental right, we have seen remarkable progress in education since then.
Yeah.
Today is the time to call for amendment in Constitution for health.
Wow, phenomenal. Right to health, and make that a fundamental right, and imagine what that would do as far as healthcare and the focus on health would be if that is made a fundamental right. But Kailash, let me ask you, in terms of vaccination, do you think kids should be vaccinated on priority?
I strongly stand that they should be vaccinated because there are evidences. In the second wave, we have seen that the children are getting affected. We have to struggle. I have to struggle personally to call some hospitals, directors of hospital, for admission of 2 months, 3 months old children. One was 2 month old child. Another one was about 3 or 4 year old. So they didn't have hospital facilities for children in the pediatric wards for such children who are pandemic affected. So that is there. Of course, there should be proper research and the proper testing, and only then it should be given. Some countries started giving actually, in Canada or America or some places. So why can't India think of it? And India being, as they say, the pharmacy of the world, and we have great scientists and great brains. So why can't we be the leader for vaccinating children in the world? To begin with India, definitely to begin with India.
True, absolutely. And, we do have vaccines which are in advanced stages of trials. We've got Bharat Biotech's Covaxin also, which is in an advanced stage, and there should be approvals that should come through. Yes, vaccinating kids is a priority. But let me ask you, Kailash, what is immediate priority for you and your foundation? What are the 3 or 4 things that you have decided you will do on a war footing?
On policy level, as I mentioned, 2 or 3 things: right to health, also the issue of formation of task force at national level as well as the state levels to deal with present situation and the future, apprehensions. So this is one. And secondly, we are directly helping those children who are directly or indirectly affected. So may it be the children who lost their parents, so we are connecting them with other agencies, governmental agencies, and so on. But we are also helping them directly. We are supplying food for thousands of people. During the first wave, 5.2 million, so 52 lakhs food meals were distributed by my foundation. So many other things. I'm not going to talk about the charity part of it because we are not specialized in it. But as we are working in many parts of India, and the demand comes from those areas which are known as child labor prone area or child trafficking prone area, and they are definitely backward areas economically and socially. So we are focusing on it, and we cannot leave it because of the aftermath of the economic situation in their families. So we are working on both fronts. One is the direct support, another one is the policy intervention or policy advocacy.
Ji. Absolutely. I remember a gentleman sometime in the 90s had pitched for a day where the world will rise up against child labor, and the World Anti-Child Labor Day came through on the 12th of June every year. And that gentleman is speaking to us today saying, let's pitch for right to health as a fundamental right. Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, thank you very, very much for speaking to us here at CNN News 18.
Thank you very much.